Okay, this is my vision of what December 21st, 2012 is going to be like. Um, or could be like. I'm not saying that I believe it'll be like that. I'm just saying it's worth contemplating as a possibility for the purposes of if it was true, which it probably not, but I mean, it could be. If it was, and if we contemplated and visualized it, it would make it process for us easier because we visualized it, and maybe if it did happen, we could explain it better because we thought about it beforehand. I just listened to David Wilcock. I typed in David Wilcock on YouTube, and I heard his audio blog. I guess he has a blog, and it's on YouTube. I don't know if it's his channel. I think it's off his website, divinecosmos.com, but somebody had it on YouTube, so I listened to it. And like David Wilcock, man, I'm like riveted by everything he says. I want to go see if there's more, man. Guy like so knowledgeable, but he's really out there. Like he says stuff that's hard for the normal person, even me, to like believe. But he didn't say this. This is just like my idea. Okay, now, one reason I'm going to say that the reason why we should imagine it, like seriously imagine it, is, well, we are capable, number one, of putting ourselves in suspended disbelief every time we watch the movie. You know, we're in there and we're believing it. So let's imagine this, and it would be really cool to actually, if somebody made a movie about it, you know, before just 2012 or before, maybe even after, just for the fun of it. But and there actually was a movie made about it called 2012: A Space Odyssey. I think it was 2012 2. Isn't that what it's called? The sequel, where Jupiter turns into a sun, and I think someone said that that's actually the prophecy. But anyways, now we should seriously think about it, because it may sound fantastical, but maybe it's true, because, you know, the world we live in now, we really should think about this. The world we live in now is completely fantastical to what it was like 100 years ago. I mean, try telling somebody 100 years ago. I mean, 100 years ago is not that long ago. I mean, there's people walking the streets nowadays who were walking the streets 100 years ago. So, you know, like, you know, 120-year-old people, there's a couple of people out there. So they were 20 years old. When you would tell them, you know, I mean, I'd like to talk to a 120-year-old person and actually confirm if this was true. But if you tell somebody that 100 years ago, oh yeah, in 2010, you know what, we're all going to have these little devices carrying around with them that you can talk to anybody in the world just by put on your chest and talk as long as you want, blabbity blabbity. Really? No way. Yeah. Well, I mean, so, I mean, cell phones, I mean, whoa. And then, of course, walking on the moon and all this stuff. So, I mean, the world we live in now is just, as far as I'm concerned, is just as crazily different from 100 years ago as the scenario I'm about to describe is to us now, even though it's just a few, years away. Now, okay, listen. Now imagine this. Just imagine. You wake up on 2012, December 21st, 2012. Now the day of that, regardless, is going to be extremely interesting, because it's going to be very interesting for New Agers to see how the mainstream media handles it. You know, to see how seriously they take it. You know, see how much of the New Age information is actually portrayed in the mainstream media just for the sake of entertainment. It'll be a gauge to show how many people actually, are really knowledgeable about that. I think basically the basic story will be portrayed just for the sake of, just for entertainment. But okay, so you get up, like say that day or the next day you wake up. Like, will it be different? Maybe it won't, but maybe. It probably won't, but maybe. Just get this, maybe. We will ascend in that one day. Boom, we'll ascend to a higher dimension. So we wake up, right, on December 22nd, 2012, right? And everything's the same, but you look up in the sky and there's two suns. You can actually see Jupiter during the day. And everybody scratches their head and goes, "What?" And maybe Jupiter's like another color, like red or something. And people go, "What the fuck? That's Jupiter. How come we can see Jupiter during the day?" Why is Jupiter a sun? Why do we have extra light on the day? You know, like maybe there is even no night. Like at night, instead you have like something that's even brighter than a full moon because you've got the Jupiter there, which is brighter than a full moon. And you know, maybe it's like that because we are in another dimension where Jupiter actually is the sun. We're in the dimension, the higher dimension, where you know, because right now we're in the third dimension and Jupiter's just a planet, but another dimension Jupiter's sun. Okay, and then the people with the telescopes go, whoa, hold on, just a second. Venus looks different. What's wrong with Venus? And you look at Venus, and Venus looks like Earth. You see an ocean. You see mountains, and maybe even you look at other planets, and you're like Mars. Oh my God, what Mars is like an Earth? And then you look really close to him, Venus, and you see cities. And people go, what the fuck? Because like the Earth just descended to another dimension where we're actually cohabitating the solar system with other planets with intelligent life. And then we go, holy schnitz. And then all of a sudden, because we can see those planets, all these spaceships come to us, and they land and they go, hey, what's up? All these aliens step out who look just like us, except maybe a little bit different. And they go, hey, what's up? Welcome to the fifth dimension, guys. Want to come fly to Venus? What? Oh my God. You know, and so like, wouldn't that be cool? I mean, I'm just saying contemplate it because that would be awesome. I'd love that. Because then I could be like, take me to Venus, and then like I could go to Venus. But here's another crazy thing to contemplate. Okay, we're in a higher dimension, we're in the spirit world. So it's kind of like the resurrection. You know how the Christians say when the resurrection happens, all the dead will rise? Well, maybe we'll actually be in the spirit world. And like family members you knew who like died in a car wreck, you know, a couple years beforehand. Like next thing you know, they're knocking on your door. You open the door and it's your like dead relative. And they're like, hey, what's up? And you're like, where the hell did you come from? I thought you were dead. Oh yeah, I've been walking around the streets of this world, and it was just a barren world, and there were no people here, but you know, all of a sudden, like you guys just bleeped into my existence, and so hey, what's up? What? So then, like like wouldn't that be crazy? That'd be even crazier than than that other scenario I said. I'm just saying, for the purposes of imagining. Like, do I believe it? No. But I do believe that, I mean, that's the only thing that I can actually imagine other than just the world being normal. And then you know, we get healthier and we get stronger. Well, that's the other thing I can imagine, which makes a lot more sense to me, is that it's the same as we are now, only you know, we're healthier and we're stronger and we can live longer because there's just more energy in us, you know, we're more superior. But just imagining, you know, this where everybody who lived, you know, well, wouldn't we become overpopulated? Well, most of the people, maybe those would just be the people who, you know, maybe because most of the people in the world are really skeptical. So maybe the people who died who were skeptical, they're actually not in that because they've already gone off to another planet, which is going to replace Earth for them, where they can continue in the third dimension. Because a lot of people who live on the Earth today aren't even going to. So what about the bad people on the Earth today who aren't ready to ascend? Well, maybe they won't. Maybe on December 22nd, 2012, there won't be a lot of people here. Like there will be a lot of people just missing. Like, what happened to Johnson? He's not here. He's gone. You know, and so what happened to Johnson? Maybe Johnson experienced the cataclysms and he died in them. But anyways, in that scenario, I would imagine just more like even the bad people like ascended too, and they were like, whoa, and then they were like freaked out, and they're like, shit, and then they lived the rest of their lives here, you know, kind of causing problems, kind of being skeptical and trying to shoot at the aliens, and then when they die, naturally, in a few years of time, they just don't reincarnate here, and they reincarnate on another planet. Whew. Anyways, that's a whole lot of wacky shit to imagine, but Just imagine it. Wouldn't that be wacky? Now, what do I believe? Yeah, that's a little bit of a stretch for me. But anyways, I can't say the other because I'm out of time. So just imagine. Ooh, crazy.